All right, then. So, first thing up, obviously, is our Good Girl Alert. We did have a really cool Memorial Day event on Memorial Day, complete with a sing along at the end of the afternoon. We all had a good time, myself especially, hanging out with the residents and, getting a little new mascot. She's not little, but this is our foster pup, Sin. You guys will hear me talk about her from time to time. Her full name is Allison, but we call her Sin. And she got to interact with the residents, and the residents just had an absolutely wonderfully fun time with her. And Miss Sue, I actually have a really great picture of Marge and her, and it's like the biggest smile I've seen on Miss Marge in the longest time. You may have seen it on our Facebook page, but it's like my favorite picture. Um, just a really quick announcement, but there's not a lot of folks on tonight, so doesn't really pertain, but just for future reference, it is a public forum. So if you have concerns or grievances that you'd like to have addressed, please know that we're more than happy to schedule time with you to discuss those things in private. Issues regarding residents and or staff members individually are private and confidential. So discussing them during a heavily attended meeting would obviously be a violation of privacy. And with that, we'll go ahead and get started over here. If I can get my screens to move. Oh, that screen was supposed to go with my announcement. Sorry about that. I'm a little out of practice. So COVID testing, just going through the regular housekeeping slides, everybody. The recommendations from the state are still based on a 7-day incidence of unique cases. I checked the COVID status 2 days ago when I was creating the slideshow, and we are still in the yellow at 2.93. We are still currently COVID testing our residents in-house only if they're gone overnight to like a medical appointment or a hospital stay or rehab or something like that, or with probable cause. We also are still having COVID testing with our contracted vendor, and that is every other week. We're doing that on Fridays now. So every other Friday, our vendor comes in and checks us out and makes sure that we're still COVID free. We have been doing a great job with that. Just a quick rundown. We have a lot of new family members that have come on, new residents moved in. We're very excited about having new extended family members. So just a quick rundown of these acronyms that I'll say frequently from time to time. CDC, Centers for Disease Control; CMS, Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services; CHFS, Cabinet for Health and Family Services; DAIL, Department for Aging and Independent Living, which is actually the body that governs us, that makes our regulations; KESLA, Kentucky Senior Living Association; and JSL, which is Jaybird Senior Living, which is the management company of Arcadian Cove. All of those entities, except for KESLA, may have a say in our safety protocols from time to time. So we actually consult all of the documentation from all of those entities except for KESLA. And they're actually just kind of an association that supports us and helps us get the information that we need. The other bodies are bodies that actually govern safety protocols for COVID. So you may hear me say those acronyms every now and then, or you may not, depending on the day. Our visitation rules have not changed. They have somewhat relaxed, but residents receiving visitors to their apartments must be fully vaccinated. The great news is that our residents are 100% vaccinated right now. So this does mean that either the resident has had their 14 days after a one dose vaccination, or 14 days after the final dose of a 2-dose series. Per all of those acronyms I said earlier, we cannot relax this except for during a compassionate care situation. Visitors to vaccinated residents' apartments also must be fully vaccinated. The same 14-day rules apply, or they can supply us with documentation of a recent 3-day recent negative COVID-19 test, or participate in an on-site Buy Next Now ag test with Arcadian Cove. We are actually allowing our visitors to swab themselves with staff oversight, so that goes pretty good. We are still able to supply 6 tests per resident per week for visitors who would like to see their loved ones. We actually have plenty of tests right now. So if more than 6 people want to come that don't have a COVID test, we do encourage you just to give us a call and ask us if you want to come in, because more than likely we will have enough tests to test everybody. The tests do take 15 minutes, so make sure you get here early if you have a scheduled appointment. Otherwise, it's going to cut into your visitation time while you're waiting for your results. Good news, visitors who are participating with in-apartment visitation that are fully vaccinated may unmask while you're in your loved one's apartment. So you guys are both fully vaccinated. You are free to hang out with each other without masks on, be in close contact. Use your own discretion on close contact. If you're feeling sick, obviously we do ask that you don't come. But if you're feeling all right and you want to hug your loved one, so be it. It's about time, I think. And again, since our residents are 100% vaccinated, they are now able to sit together at their dinner tables. Right now, we're doing 2 people per table, and it's going over smashingly. The residents are having a great time, and they can attend activities without being 6 foot socially distanced. So that is a big celebration, a big yay for us. The previous regulations still apply to residents who leave our community. They should be fully vaccinated, meaning that 14 plus days beyond the final dose of a vaccination series. You guys have been very responsible with this, and we really appreciate it. But do know that in the future, if you take your loved one out and they haven't been vaccinated, they will be subjected to the prior 14-day quarantine. Obviously, doesn't pertain to any of us right now, but potentially future residents that may be watching this lovely video might need to know that information. Golden rules still apply. And, it's our policy that a resident's power of attorney must approve anybody who would like to take the resident out for an outing. So make sure you choose wisely based on that person's ability to mitigate the risk of exposure. The CDC golden standard is that the resident and all parties inside a vehicle should be fully vaccinated. And we do ask that the resident be signed in and out in the presence of an Arcadian Cove staff member. So schedule your trips with us so that we can be aware of your timelines. We will also continue with resident screening upon their return, temp, pulse ox, monitoring symptoms, those types of things. I did get a really nice email today going over some new guidelines for COVID, and I just pulled this excerpt out because I wanted you guys to know why we haven't completely relaxed all of our restrictions. And it basically just says, it is important to point out that vaccinations are not foolproof, and a vaccinated person can still transmit COVID-19 if they have been exposed to a positive carrier. Each community should have a written policy and procedure regarding the wearing of masks or not and social distancing or not, so that residents, staff, and family are fully aware of your policies. So just wanted to make you guys aware, our policies are: staff is always masked during our shifts, except for when in a designated break area or having their breaks. Residents will wear masks to and from activities and dining hours. Visitors will always wear masks unless fully vaccinated and then may unmask once in residents' apartments only. Residents and staff will always wear masks while they're on the bus, and residents will wear masks when visiting medical offices. And so far, everybody just has been continuing to do this for us. I do see somebody from time to time with their mask down around their chin, and I ask them nicely to pull it up, and they obviously 100% comply. They know that we're still fighting a global pandemic and that we're fighting for a very vulnerable population. So I really don't have any trouble getting folks to understand the reasons why I ask them to, wear their masks appropriately. Even though we all hate them, we're still doing our best to wear them the way that we should. So I geek out on all things psychology related and human behavior related. And I just wanted to mention that there's a lot of documentation and data out there regarding the post-COVID mental health fallout. Disasters of this magnitude can have really lengthy impact on people's mental health. It's a worldwide pandemic that has caused a lot of immediate and secondary stressors. A lot of us are feeling like we can actually finally take a breath after holding our breath for a year or even longer. And the relief that we were all hoping for, really, it just feels like grief that we have not been able to manage, unfortunately. So we are seeing this at the Cove in our residents, in our staff, and in our visitors, unfortunately. Ms. Tasha has been working on several individual instances with our residents that we don't think probably would have happened normally, and instances that we feel have cycled a lot faster because of the pandemic. So I want to urge everybody to be cognizant of your loved one's mental health and let us know if you see something that we don't. And I just want to remind everybody that your own mental health is just as important, not just for yourself, but for your loved ones that call Arcadian Cove home, because they do depend on you. That sense of rallying together that we really had has kind of seemed to dissipate as the restrictions have been relaxed so quickly. And so the last thing I want to ask is that you continue to have patience with us as well as we work through all the parts of this post-COVID mental health fallout that might end up in our laps. We appreciate all of your patience and all of your understanding that we're all going through this for the first time, and we might not have our ducks in a row as quickly as we'd like to sometimes. So we appreciate your patience. Um, I think something that we have been our motto, something that's been our motto at Arcadian through this whole pandemic is that kindness always wins, and it's you catch a lot more flies with honey. So we appreciate your kindness as just as much as we try to pay it forward to your residents or to our residents and your loved ones. We try to understand that this has just really been detrimental to a lot of folks' mental health. And as we're working through those situations with your support, we appreciate your kindness and your patience. Now, some exciting announcements. I would like to beg at this point. We do need some recorded testimonials for our beautiful new website. These can be done in the comfort of your own home with your own mobile device or tablet. Then they can just be emailed straight to me. If you would be willing to provide a testimonial, just let me know and I'll email you a sample questionnaire and you can choose which questions that you would like to record. And I'll send you a media release and we can upload your video to our website. It would just be fantastic. We have a Father's Day front porch visit event scheduled up for June the 19th. This it can be front porch or side porch depending on the appointment times. I did send out a Calendly invite where you can actually click there and make an appointment if you would like to. If you want to have a visit with your dad on the inside his apartment, that's still not a problem. You can definitely do that, but we can still only do 2 visitors at a time in the apartment. And so what we were hoping is that if you had a group bigger than 2, like anywhere from 2 to 6, that you could use our outdoor space. Since these are outside, vaccination status is not required. However, we would ask that you exercise caution if you think you've been exposed or you're feeling sick. We will still screen all of our visitors with a temperature, pulse ox, and a questionnaire that we have to use for everybody that comes on the premises nowadays. But we do have a little gift for each dad and a little snack to share. So if they want to share it with you guys, that's totally up to them. So just let me know if you guys are interested. You can actually call here and make an appointment, or if you need to see that link again, just shoot me an email and I'll send it back out to you. We are very excited that we get to fundraise this year for the Walk to End Alzheimer's. As you guys all know, this is very close to our hearts. So this will be the next Saturday on June the 16th, I'm sorry, the 26th. We're going to host a cornhole tournament with a $20 buy-in per team. First place winners are going to get a pair of Dolby Bluetooth sound bars with a $200 value. It's pretty dope. Second place winners will get a pair of Google Home Minis, and third place winners will get a pair of wireless Bluetooth earbuds. Excuse me. We will have our bounce castle as usual, hot dog boxes, popcorn, snow cones, and you might win a television. So definitely encourage everybody to attend. We will have a bathroom available and masks for you to use if you need to come in, but most of our festivities are going to take place outside on the Arcadian grounds. So with all that's going to be going on during this event on Saturday the 26th, we are going to suspend our indoor visitation at 5 p.m. until the following morning. And that's just to help us maintain, safe practices, screening visitors and things like that. So it should be a really fun time. If you can attend, please do. We'll get started around 7 o'clock. And if you would like to help us with donations, we would much appreciate that. We do still need about $400 to fund the fireworks. So if you're interested in making a donation for the fireworks, please shoot me an email. The fireworks are a little bit different than the actual fundraising for the walk. Funds that go directly to the walk can be paid directly to the Alzheimer's Association, but the fireworks fund is a little bit different. That's actually a cash fund. So those of you who are new to the Cove and haven't heard this story before, my dad actually works for a commercial fireworks distributor, and he gives us every year $1,000 worth of fireworks for $500. Gives us a nice 50% discount, but we do have to pay him with cash. So I think he gets to count it as a loss. Maybe I probably shouldn't be putting this out on YouTube, but he's a fantastic guy. And he gives us a really nice discount so that our residents can have a really cool fireworks show every year. He's been doing it notoriously now for, gosh, 8, maybe 9 years. He's been doing it for a while. So he really likes to help us out and make sure that we have a really good fireworks show for our residents who might not be able to attend a regular 4th of July party. So if you're interested in donating for the fireworks or for the fundraising, let us know. If we were to receive any funds in excess of the $400 that we need for the fireworks, it's going to go directly to Team Arcadian Cove's Walk to End Alzheimer's Fund. And we do have a $2,000 goal for that. So be on the lookout for we're planning maybe some Facebook Live auctions, some bake sales, some various different fundraisers to help us get to that goal. And on our Facebook page, we're going to be using the hashtags Team Cove and End Alls. So if you want to follow those hashtags, you'll be able to see kind of what we got going on. And that's it. That's all I have for you guys today. We're still doing our scheduled visitation. So if you guys want to call 859-624-0022 and chat with us, you're welcome to do so. There's my friendly face. I know you guys have missed me. How you doing? Does anybody have any questions? Oh, nope, this one's not a question, but Melissa just put in the chat. We do have a community appreciation and education drive-through event. We did have to reschedule that. You've probably seen it on our Facebook page, but we have rescheduled that to July the 14th. Is that right, Melissa? I do not have that in front of me. I apologize. It is on a Wednesday.
Yes, it's July 14th.
Okay.
From noon until 2.
Okay, perfect. So July 14th from noon until 2, you could win a television. So drive through from noon till 2. We're also going to be giving out snacks because we love to give away food. You could win a TV. There's going to be lots of vendors here that are talking about, they're going to give you information about how they're doing business in a post-COVID world, how they're staying safe, and how they can help you as you progress in your life. So be sure to come. Anybody have any questions? No questions? I always love this part because it's either really, really intense or no one ever has anything to say and they're just like, hey, Chris. Well, if there are no questions, I'll go ahead and conclude this meeting for tonight. Thank you guys for hopping on. I'll get this put up on the YouTube channel probably first thing in the morning. It takes a little time for it to buffer and download, so I'll probably get that put up first thing in the morning. And I'll get the slides out to you guys in an email and with a link to the video. And if you have questions, you guys know how to find me, email, telephone, whatever works best for you. We definitely want to communicate with you in the manner that you would like for us to communicate with you. And we appreciate all that you guys do and for you allowing us to call, allowing your loved ones to call Arcadian Cove home. Okay, good night, everybody.